Alright, Whites supporters, sit down, buckle up, and prepare yourselves because what I'm about to tell you will have you absolutely buzzing with excitement and maybe sweating bullets at the same time. You know that feeling when you're walking up to Elland Road on match day and you can sense something big is about to happen? That electricity in the air that makes your heart race? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now in the Leeds United transfer market, and trust me when I say this, what's unfolding behind the scenes is going to determine whether we're celebrating Premier League glory or pulling our hair out in frustration. We've got three absolutely massive developments that have exploded onto the scene in the last 48 hours, and each one of them could be the difference between Daniel Farke building a squad that can handle the Premier League heat or watching our dreams crumble before the season even starts. First up, we've got a defensive target that's got the Whites faithful divided, a centre-back who could be the missing piece of our Premier League puzzle. But here's the kicker, a championship rival has just swooped in with a bid that could blow our chances to smithereens. Then, there's a Welsh international that Farke has been chasing like a lovesick teenager, and just when we thought we had him in the bag, Tottenham have pulled a move that's got everyone scratching their heads. And finally, oh boy, finally, we're talking about a striker who literally outperformed Erling Haaland in one crucial stat, but the price tag attached to this Brazilian beast might just give the 49ers nightmares. Smash that like button right now if you're ready for this transfer rollercoaster, hit subscribe because you do not want to miss a single update, and drop a comment telling me which of these three bombshells has got you most excited. The Leeds United faithful deserve to know exactly what's happening with their beloved club, and I promise you this, by the end of this breakdown, you'll understand why the next 72 hours could define our entire Premier League campaign. Are you ready to find out which defender might slip through our fingers and straight into our rivals' hands? And here we go, White supporters. The first punch to the gut that has got a Daniel Farke and the 49ers scrambling. Remember that mysterious centre-back I teased you about? Well, his name is Modibo Sagnan, and this 26-year-old Mali international was supposed to be our answer to the Premier League's attacking threats. This isn't just any ordinary defender we're talking about here. This is a man who's played for Real Sociedad, Lens and FC Utrecht. A globe-trotting warrior who's proven himself across multiple leagues and cultures. But here's where it gets absolutely infuriating for every single Leeds United fan. While we were sitting pretty, thinking we had all the time in the world to make our move, Sunderland, yes, you heard that right, Sunderland, have come charging in like bulls in a china shop with a £4.25 million bid that's got Montpellier's executives rubbing their hands together with glee. Now listen, fellow Whites, this is where it gets personal. Sagnan scored 5 goals in 41 appearances for a Montpellier side that got relegated from League One, which tells you everything you need to know about his quality. He was a shining beacon in a sinking ship. This is exactly the type of warrior mentality we need alongside Joe Rodon, someone who can fight tooth and nail when the Premier League's elite come calling at Elland Road. The worst part? Africa Foot is reporting that Sagnan actually prefers a Premier League move, which should have been music to our ears. But while we were probably debating internal budgets and strategic planning, Sunderland's new French manager, Régis Lebrun, has used his continental connections to steal a march on us. And it doesn't stop there. Serie A clubs are circling like vultures. Lens wants to keep him in Ligue 1, and here we are, the mighty Leeds United, potentially watching a £4.25 million solution to our defensive woes slip through our fingers because we didn't act fast enough. This is the type of signing that keeps Farke awake at night, knowing that Pascal Struijk's injury problems mean we desperately need reliable cover, and losing out on Sagnan could force us into panic buying later in the window at inflated prices. But hold on to your scarves, Leeds faithful, because if you think that's dramatic, wait until you hear about the Welsh international who's got Tottenham playing games with our emotions. Right, White supporters, if the Sagnan situation had you frustrated, this next revelation is going to have you absolutely seething with rage at Tottenham Hotspur. We all know Daniel Farke has been obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with signing Ben Davies ever since he walked through the doors at Elland Road. And why wouldn't he be? This isn't just any left back we're talking about. This is the Wales captain, a leader who could slot perfectly into our Welsh connection alongside Joe Rodon, Ethan Ampadu, Carl Darlow, Dan James, and Charlie Crew. Here's what makes this so beautifully perfect and simultaneously heartbreaking. Davies was supposed to be available on a free transfer this summer. Can you imagine? The Wales skipper, a proven Premier League defender who can play both centre-back and left-back. walking into Elland Road without costing the 49ers a single penny. But Tottenham, those sneaky North London Devils, have just triggered a contract extension that's blown our free transfer dreams to absolute pieces. They've basically held up a middle finger to Leeds United and said, "You want Ben Davies? You're going to pay for the privilege." Now, Ben Jacobs is reporting that we could still make a move for Davies, but here's the cruel twist that's got every Leeds fan's blood boiling. We'll now have to pay an actual transfer fee for a player we could have signed for free just weeks ago. It's like watching your favorite meal being taken off the menu just as you're about to order it. The most maddening part about this entire situation is how perfect Davies would be for our system. We desperately need a left-footed centre-back to partner Rodon, especially with Max Wober expected to leave Leeds soon. We also need left-back cover, with Junior Firpo's agents talking to Lyon and AC Milan about potential moves. Davies could solve both problems in one signing, and his connection with our Welsh contingent would have been absolutely beautiful to watch. Just imagine the scenes. Rodon and Davies commanding our defense, speaking Welsh to each other, understanding each other's movements like they've been playing together for years. And here's the kicker that'll really get your blood pumping. Davies was praising Joe Rodon on his Instagram story after Wales' 3-0 victory over Liechtenstein, where our very own centre-back scored his first international goal with a superb header. The chemistry is already there, the mutual respect is obvious, and Davies could have been the missing piece that transforms our defence from championship level to Premier League quality. But White's faithful, if you think Tottenham's contract games are infuriating, wait until you hear about the Brazilian striker who outperformed Erling Haaland but comes with a price tag that might just break the bank. Hold on to your hats, Leeds United faithful, because this final bombshell is going to blow your minds and potentially empty the 49ers' entire transfer budget in one fell swoop. Meet Rodrigo Muniz, the 24-year-old Brazilian striker who's just appeared on Daniel Farke's radar like a gift from the football gods. But here's the absolutely insane part that's got statisticians across Europe doing double takes. This Fulham forward actually trumped Erling Haaland in one of the most crucial striking statistics you can imagine. According to Datum-B, Muniz had the highest expected goals per 100 touches in the top 7 European leagues last season. Let that sink in for a moment, White's supporters. We're talking about a striker who was more clinical with his chances than the Norwegian goal machine who's been terrorizing Premier League defenses for Manchester City. This isn't some championship player we're talking about. This is a proven Premier League performer who scored 8 goals and grabbed 1 assist in 31 appearances for Fulham, showing he can handle the pressure and physicality of England's top flight. When you compare that to Patrick Bamford's last Premier League campaign where he managed just 4 goals and 3 assists in 28 games, the difference is absolutely staggering. But here's where this fairy tale story takes a dramatic turn that'll have 49ers executives reaching for the antacids. Fulham want £50 million for Muniz's signature. That's right, £50 million for a striker who spent most of his Premier League career coming off the bench. Now, before you start screaming about the price tag, let me paint you a picture of why this signing could be absolutely genius for Leeds United. Muniz won 114 duels compared to Bamford's 83. He won 2.93 fouls per 90 minutes compared to Bamford's 1.6e. And here's the kicker. He did all of this while playing for a Fulham side that doesn't create many chances. Alan Shearer, the Premier League legend himself, described Muniz as horrible to play against, which is exactly the type of striker we need when we're battling against Premier League defenders who've been making championship forwards look like schoolboys. Think about it, Leeds faithful. Joel Pirro has never played top-flight football before, and while Patrick Bamford wants that England call-up, his injury record and inconsistency have left us all pulling our hair out in frustration. Muniz represents everything we've been missing: Premier League experience, physical presence, clinical finishing, and that Brazilian flair that could light up Elland Road like fireworks on New Year's Eve. But here's the million-pound question that's keeping Daniel Farke awake at night. Can the 49ers justify spending £50 million on one player when we still need to strengthen our defense, potentially sign Ben Davies, and compete with Sunderland for defensive targets? This is the crossroads moment, White supporters. This is where the 49ers' ambition will be tested, where we find out if they're truly committed to building a Premier League squad that can compete with the big boys, or if we're going to watch our targets slip away to clubs with deeper pockets and quicker decision making. The next 72 hours could define our entire season. Will we emerge as the Leeds United that's ready to take on the Premier League elite? Or will we be left wondering what could have been while watching Sagnan shine for Sunderland, Davies continue his Tottenham career, and Muniz terrorise defences for whoever's brave enough to meet Fulham's asking price? Smash that like button if you want the 49ers to break the bank for Muniz. Hit subscribe because these transfer stories are developing by the hour, and tell me in the comments, which of these three signings would transform Leeds United's Premier League hopes the most? The Leeds United faithful deserve ambitious signings that match their passionate support. The question is, will the club deliver when it matters most? Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain, this transfer window is going to be absolutely mental. Come on, Leeds.